Long ago, in a small village in Botswana, there lived a man named Mr. Moketsi, who had 2 wives. His first wife, Menyo, was an forceful woman, with a sharp tongue and an even sharper temper. She had a daughter named Neo, who shared her mother's cunning behavior. The second wife, Melero, was the complete opposite. She was gentle and breathtakingly beautiful, with a daughter named Leruo, who inherited her grace and kindness. The first wife had a burning jealousy toward the younger wife, envying her beauty and the admiration she received. This jealousy worsened until it turned into hatred. One day, under the pretense of sisterly bonding, the first wife invited the younger wife to fetch water from the river. "Let's go together, dear sister," she said, forcing a smile so tight it could have cracked her face. The younger wife, ever trusting, agreed. They carried their clay pots and walked to the riverbank, chatting about everyday things. But as the younger wife bent to draw water, the first wife's wicked plan unfolded. With a sudden shove, she pushed the younger wife into the river. The current swept her away, and the first wife stood there, watching until there was no trace left. She returned home pretending distress. "Oh, Moketsi," Melero said. She needed to relieve herself in the bushes and vanished. "We looked for her, but she's gone." The villagers searched high and low, but the younger wife was never found. They concluded that she had been devoured by wild animals, and life in the village went on. Leruo, now an orphan, became a target for the first wife's cruelty. Every morning, she was sent to tend the livestock in the forest while Neo stayed home eating sweetmeats and braiding her hair. When Leruo returned, all she got were scraps of food, barely enough to keep her alive. She grew thin and frail, but her kind heart endured. One day, while sitting by the riverbank, with tears streaming down her face, Leruo heard a deep, soothing voice. "Why do you cry, child?" Startled, she looked up and saw a large, mysterious fish swimming near her. "My stepmother treats me terribly," she sobbed. "She makes me work all day and feeds me nothing but scraps while her daughter does nothing." The fish's eyes glinted with sympathy. "Do not cry. Come to me every day, and I shall give you food to ease your hunger." From that day, Leruo visited the fish daily. It provided her with meals fit for royalty, steaming loaves of bread, honeyed fruit, and roasted meats. She began to regain her strength, and her skin glowed with health. The first wife noticed the change in Leruo and became suspicious. "How is this little wretch looking so well fed, while I've been giving her scraps?" she thought to herself. That day the fish told Leruo that its time is up. When it dies, Leruo must gather its bones and bury them near the stream. Leruo cried, asking if this can be avoided. The fish just said it is its destiny. Determined to uncover the truth, the first wife secretly followed Leruo to the river and was horrified to see the fish providing her with food. "This cursed fish," she spat. "I'll teach it a lesson. I must act." Rushing back home, the first wife spun a web of lies. "Husband," she wailed, "there's a fish at the river feeding Leruo. It must be planning to devour her soon." Mr. Moketsi, gullible as ever, believed her. The next day, they followed Leruo to the river. As the fish handed her food, Moketsi leaped out and caught it. Despite Leruo's cries, they killed the fish and cooked it for dinner. "Here, have some fish," the first wife taunted Leruo, grinning wickedly. Leruo, heartbroken but determined, gathered the fish's bones, as the fish had instructed her, and buried them near the stream. Days turned into weeks, and from where Leruo buried the bones, a rare and stunning flower began to grow. Its petals shimmered like gold, and its fragrance was unlike anything the villagers had ever known. One day, the king's son went hunting and stumbled upon the flower. Mesmerized, he ordered his men to pluck it, but no one could. Frustrated, he called upon the village seers. The flower can only be plucked by a noble and virtuous maiden, the seers declared. She will bring prosperity to the land. Word spread, and all the village maidens tried their luck, including Neo, who strutted up to the flower in her finest dress. She pulled and tugged until her face turned red, but the flower didn't budge. Meanwhile, Leroy, returning from tending livestock, was dragged to the scene by the prince's men. She hesitated, but as soon as she touched the flower, it fell gracefully into her hands. The crowd erupted in cheers, and the prince was so moved that he embraced her on the spot. "You are the one I've been searching for," he declared. The prince married Leroy in a grand celebration, and she moved to the palace, where she was showered with love and respect. Menio, the first wife, consumed by bitterness, could only watch helplessly as her plans crumbled. Neo, for all her beauty, was left in the shadows. And as for Leroy, she finally found the happiness she deserved, proving that kindness and virtue will always triumph over cruelty. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like for more stories.